I'm Marilyn Weston, and you're definitely getting it straight from a woman's perspective here on Zoomer Radio. And each week we talk about finance and investing for retirement and achieving peace of mind to encourage people to ask questions and get answers so they can sleep at night knowing that they have a financial plan in place and things will go as they wish. And today we have Leslie McCormick, who's authored the book Bank on Yourself, Why Every Woman Should Plan to Be Financially Single even if she's not. And I'm wondering what you're going to talk about today. So good morning, Leslie.
Good morning, Marilyn. I'm going to talk today about 5 steps to successfully handling an inheritance.
Very useful information.
It's important information. Receiving an inheritance can be a source of financial security associated with a great personal loss. And it can be the source of significant stress during an already stressful time. It holds the possibility of providing financial security for your future and potentially changing your life if handled well, but making good choices in the fog of grief and unfamiliar financial circumstances can be an enormous challenge. And that's one reason why, according to a researcher in the U.S. at Ohio State University, half of money received through moderately large inheritance is blown on spending or bad investments soon after it's received. You may face this problem if you have aging parents or an aging spouse. According to the 2017 Household Balance Sheet report published by Strategic Insights, there were 2 million households in Canada with at least one family member over the age of 70, and that group collectively controls $860 billion as of the end of 2016. They project that $1.05 trillion will be inherited in the decade between 2016 and 2026. Interestingly, 70% of inheritances are expected to go to women as they inherit from both their parents and eventually their husbands. How can you make sure that you avoid some of the biggest mistakes if you find yourself in a position of receiving an inheritance? The first step is doing nothing. This is one of the most important pieces of advice we often give to our widowed clients as well. One of the smartest things you can do is avoid making any big decisions until you can grieve and get used to how your life has changed. Susan Bradley, founder of the Financial Transitionist Institute and author of the Sudden Money book, calls it a decision-free zone. Many experts, including us, recommend waiting at least 6 months or even a year before making any significant financial decisions. Second step, fund an emergency account. If you don't already have one, set aside at least 3 months of expenses in a bank account to avoid having to make big decisions about where that money will come from in the event of an unexpected expense. Thirdly, when you're ready, create a list of goals and those things that matter most to you before making any specific investments, large purchases, and really consider what you want in the long term. Invest some time developing your vision for your future. Fourth, write a financial plan. Develop a coherent strategy for your life. Any significant purchases, real estate changes, or investments can then be made in a meaningful context. And finally, getting professional help. Suddenly having to manage significantly more than you have before, how to handle the taxes associated, planning your own estate, it all calls for outside experts. So finding the right accountant, lawyer, banker, financial advisor can really help you make the decisions that you need to make and make them soundly. So receiving an inheritance or having the responsibility of managing the household finances on your own, it really is a life-changing event. Reacting to it too quickly and making poor decisions can compromise the good it can do, and even it can dishonor the person who left it to you. Take the time to grieve, and when you're ready, prioritize what matters most for your future and have a plan to move forward with it. This will help ensure that you use your new financial resources wisely.
So you're interested in empowering women specifically because your book, Bank on Yourself, Why Every Woman Should Plan to Be Financially Single Even If She's Not. And this is good advice for men and women. Basically, it isn't good to do things, we've spoken about it before, when your eyes are clouded by tears. You need to have things settled and you need to be seeing clearly before you move forward. And these 5 points, if someone wants to talk to you about it and get some advice, maybe they find that they're at this point in their life, how do we reach you?
You can call us at 416-863-7501. 416-863-7501. You can ask for Leslie McCormick or Darren Farwell, but you will actually be getting the power of the entire Farwell group, and you'll be able to hear what's good for you and ask your specific questions and have a GPS that takes you forward no matter where you are in your life. Leslie, thank you, and thank you for the book, Bank on Yourself, for my library. My library from my team is slowly growing, so if you wish to thumb through the book, please plan to visit me at my store, Maryland's. The book Bank on Yourself is there, and you're welcome to look through it, and I'd be happy to sell you a copy too. Leslie, I hope that people do take your advice and remember those 5 steps if they find that they are moving forward and that they've inherited money, rather than look back and say, if only I'd known. You've shared it in a clear way so that they do know.